Hello everyone, my name is Ashmita and I'm your trainer for the unit SITXHRM009, Lead and Manage People. In this video, I'm going to show you a step-by-step process on how and where you can access your learning resources. I'll also discuss your assessment task and show you how you can complete it, and also show you how you can upload it in your Moodle once you have completed it, okay? So before that, I'd like to share my screen with you. Okay, so there you go. That's my screen. Now I'm going to log into our college website. So www.pct.edu.au. Okay, and then you go to your student portal. Then your username, provide your student ID. So I'm putting my username there and my password and log in. So once you have logged in, you go to your student profile here and dashboard, and that's the unit we are going to discuss today. Okay, lead and manage people. So you click on that. So you have a general information there. Scroll down, go further down. Then there you have your assessment activities. Your assessment task 1, assessment task 2, assessment task 3. And then you have final exams. You won't be able to access your final exam until week 9. So it's all good for now. And then you have your assessment case 3, case scenario for role play and presentation. Okay, there is a file for you to download there. Then these are your lecture slides. You can click on the lecture slides and get some information there. They're pretty good information. They're all derived from your learner guide. So you have all the titles there and some information on leading and managing people. Okay, and this is your learner guide. So I want you to read carefully your learner guide because it has all the information you need you need to complete the assessment tasks for this unit. Okay, so if you click on your learning resources learner guide, that's your topic, that's your unit SITXHRM009, lead and manage people, and that's your table of content, right? So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and summaries and references. So scroll down further. There's some information about the units, learner resources, about this unit of competency. And then go down, that's your chapter 1, okay? So model high standards of work performance and behavior, and you have your theory there, okay? So now I also want you to be familiar with this search option. There is a search button here. If you click on that and say if you want to go into a topic, say conflict, read on conflict. So you type conflict and everything comes up. So hang on, a conflict, or let's just say team. Let's say not the conflict, let's do team. So if you click on that, yeah, team. So anything to do with team comes up. Okay, that makes you easier to look for a topic. Okay, you don't have to scroll up and down for that purpose. Okay, now going back to your assessment tasks. We start with assessment task 1. So I'll open that. It gets downloaded. There you go. Gets downloaded in your computer. Then you open on that. I also want you to open your learner guide in another page. So you can, like go through the questions and go back to your learner's guide. to look for an answer, to find an answer, to read a content. Okay. So that's your learner guide. And this is a question. That's your assessment cover sheet. If you scroll down, there is a multiple choice question. Okay, so this part that, okay, assessment task 1 consists of multiple choice questions and some short answer questions. Okay, that's just a short form. Multiple choice questions and short answer questions. So part A consists of some multiple choice questions. So here is your question, and you have 4 options and you only have 1 right answer. Okay, so you have to choose 1 right answer. So what type of leadership styles is being followed when a leader is motivating others through rewards and punishments? What kind of leadership style are they adopting when somebody follows a reward and punishment? What kind of leadership style is it? Is it authoritarian leadership, whether it's democratic, is it transactional, or is it transformational? So to answer that, you have to understand all different types of leadership styles, okay? So now we go leadership styles, or we can just click onto one, transactional, or we can do democratic, okay? And now we go back to your learner guide, and let's do, say, transactional. Oh, there you go. So there you have all different types of leadership styles, okay? Effective leadership styles. There's authoritarian, there's laissez-faire, there's democratic, transactional, and coaching. So because I already know the answer, I want you to read through what's an authoritarian or autocratic leadership style. So authoritarian leadership, as a name suggests, follows autocracy, okay, where the leader is always right, okay? The leader holds all the power and authority, assigns tasks and responsibility, and expects team members to follow through, okay? Opinions and disagreements by team members are not encouraged, and as a result, they may feel undervalued and unappreciated. Not a very good leadership style. Laissez-faire. What kind of leadership style is that? Well, it's just opposite of authoritarian. In this type of leadership style, it involves assigning tasks to your team members and letting them figure out the what's and how's of execution. So the leader does not tell you how to do your task. You are on your own to figure out how to do it. Okay. Now, democratic style. What kind of leadership style is that? Okay, it's a mix of authoritarian and leadership. They don't let you free completely, and they also don't tell you like every time like what you should do, you know. So as the name suggests, a democratic leader encourages team members to share opinions, methods, and creative ideas. So it's an open communication, like, you know, where leader listens to you, and also they delegate authorities, like, you know, they give you responsibilities, but they're also watching you carefully as to how you are performing. All right. And now, transactional leadership style. What kind of leadership style is that? It focuses on goals, rewards, and penalties. Okay, so it is a practical and direct way of approaching work. The leader and team's energy is efficiently channeled to optimize tasks and meet goals. So it's more goal focused, but based on rewards and penalties. Okay, if you perform good, if you meet the targets, then you are rewarded for your performance, right? So what was our question here? What kind of leadership style is being followed when a leader is motivating others through rewards and punishment? So the answer is C, transactional leadership style. Okay, so that's it. So now, similarly, I want you to go and, yeah, attempt all the short answer questions. They're altogether 8 short answer questions. Yeah, I've showed you an example of one as to how and where you find the information, right? So question 2 is leadership and management are the same. Is that true? Are they both same, or is there a difference between leadership and management? So is this statement true or false? So for that, you have to understand what is leadership and what is management. Okay, so that's about the multiple choice questions. Now, short answer questions. Briefly explain the concept of targeted training. Explain the importance of KPIs in monitoring team performance. What is KPIs? Let's just pick this. I'll just help you solve one question. because that's a keyword, KPIs. What's the importance of KPIs in monitoring team performance? So I want you to go back to your learner guide and read about KPIs. What are KPIs? Key performance indicators. What are they? KPIs. Yeah, now what are KPIs? Okay. Key performance indicators. What are they now? Let's see. Yeah, as a leader or management, you may choose to monitor your team formally using KPIs, key performance indicators before major meeting, performance reviews and report meeting. Now, what's a KPIs? Set up KPIs. KPIs, as mentioned earlier, stand for key performance indicators. They are indicators of performance. As the name suggests, each team member's KPIs are visible to all other team members, or at least to you and the team leader. For example, if your task is to gain 8 new clients this month, a KPI would be to gain 2 clients per week. So your key performance it's like a target given to you. Okay, so say it can be monthly, it can be weekly, it can be daily, it can be yearly target. It could be in monetary terms, it could be in terms of customer satisfaction, it could be anything. It could be like preparing 10 sandwiches in a day or 20 pizzas in a day. It can be anything, just a target given to you, and make sure the KPIs are achievable. Okay, so you can achieve it in a given time. So in every sector you go, you have to meet certain criteria for KPIs. So it can be in terms of certain sale. If it's a sale, like sales, if you're talking about sales, then maybe $1 million sales a year, or maybe $1,000 sales in a month, something like that. Okay, and there's another example for you. So now explain what's the importance of KPIs in monitoring team performance. So I want you to read about KPIs in details and the importance of KPIs in monitoring performance. See? Why is it important to have KPIs? Otherwise, the team would feel, lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know what is expected of them, right? So KPI helps people to be on track. They know what exactly is expected out of them, and they know what they have to do. Okay, how much they have to achieve. So yeah, so you can be any, like you can answer in your own ways, but I want you to read more on what is key performance indicators, why is it important. You can it's go Google, Google about KPIs. You can also uh, talk about KPIs in your sector, in your field. What kind of KPIs do they use in kitchen, what kind of KPIs do they use in service sector. So you can get a lot of informations online. So I want you to read them carefully, understand them before you answer the question. Okay, so I won't answer them all for you. They're just an example as to how you find resources. Okay, you can get help from Google. Google has all the information. Any topics you don't understand, you want to read more on any topic, you can always Google it. There's a lot of information, articles, documents there for you to download and read. Okay, so that's it. So there are 8 short answer questions, right? In assessment task 1. Okay, so assessment task 1 is almost complete now. I want you to read the questions carefully before you answer them, all right? And your learner's guide is always there to help you find any information on the topic. Okay, now we go to task 2. Okay, there you go, assessment task 2. All right. Now you go to the file download, open the file, save it in your folder. Okay, assessment task 2, lead and manage people. Now assessment task 2 has role play and presentation. Okay, so now there's a case scenario for you, and the case scenario is, imagine now you are Jones. Okay, so you are Jones and you are the manager of Perth Cafe and Convention Center. You cater for a variety of special events such as birthdays, weddings, anniversary, fundraising events, and corporate functions. The cafe provides breakfast, lunch, and delicious snack in lush, tranquil settings. Both cafe and convention center have built a reputation for quality food and friendly service. Menus change on a seasonal basis and cater to different dietary requirements. It is fully licensed and offers a wide range of Australian and local wine. The operating hours are 7 to 5, 7 days a week, and in the evening for functions and convention bookings. You manage a large team of 5 supervisors and 35 team members. Okay, you are hands-on with your managerial duties. So you are a manager. You have 35 team members and 5 supervisors under you. And supervisors only manage team members. So the 5 supervisors, they only manage 35 people, but you also manage supervisor and the team members, right? The team has very strict performance goals, KPIs to meet every quarter. However, team members are not happy with task allocations and resource management. Okay, so there's a problem. They're not happy with the task allocation and resource management. In recent past, there have been incidents of favoritism. You know what favoritism is? Favoring one person over another person, okay? And discrimination. There has been a discrimination in the workplace, okay, which is not good. So conflict is rising and team members are upset and angry. Okay, so your team members are not happy because there have been a problem of discrimination, and there's incidents of favoritism at work. Tasks are not allocated properly and resources are not managed. Okay, so your boss conducted a quick meeting regarding team management. Your boss asked you to plan for de-escalate the whole situation and manage conflict. Also, you will be working on managing the effectiveness and performance of the team. Now, as a manager, you are required to prepare a report on the current scenario, okay, and a presentation for the upcoming managers meeting next month. So, okay, so that's the issue, and these are the topics. Okay, so now you are a manager, you are preparing a report, right? So the report one, okay, there are certain questions you have to include in your report. Focus on the following key tasks while you prepare and report the presentation. How would you like to solve the current team issues? What's the team issue here? You have to identify the team issue. Discrimination, what else? Favoritism, right? Resources are not allocated properly, and task allocation, not happy with the task allocation. So there is a team problem here. Okay, so okay, team problem now, right? The group is having a problem. Now, each team faces some problem, which is obvious in any organization. If there are people, there is conflict. Okay, so team members may sometimes struggle to collaborate, maintain good performance. Sometimes they fail to maintain a good relationship. Sometimes it could be just a leadership problem. Okay, so any interaction that induces anxiety, unnecessary worry, insecurity, and hostility in the workplace is a negative workplace interaction. Okay, so as a team member, you must ensure that as a manager or as a leader, you must ensure that all your team members feel safe, involved, they feel valued, fair, and comfortable in a professional setting. All right. So negative and unprofessional, some people are feeling like discriminated. So like maybe there is someone who is discriminating, right? So negative and unprofessional behavior or interactions may increase employee dissatisfaction. That's what is happening here, isn't it? So there's absenteeism and even like turnover. People don't stay in the organization, they just leave, right? So as a leader, you can confront the person yourself. So if this situation has come through, now you are a manager, how would you handle it? What would you do? You would confront it, confront the person or confront the situation, right? So if it's somebody's bullying someone, somebody's discriminating his fellow team members, then what do you do as a manager? You go and talk to the person, speak to them nicely, firmly manner, right? And if that doesn't work, what do? You report them to HR. If it continues, if the behavior continues in a certain way despite the warning, then you report it to HR. Okay, so there are a lot of things you can consider in this situation. Can be, you can come up with any solutions. There's no one fixed answer for this question. You can just read through all the topics on conflicts, what are possible conflicts arising in an organization, and how to manage a conflict. You can read on those topics and come up with an idea. Okay, so as a leader or as a manager or as a line manager, your duty, or as a leader, your duty is to what? Make sure everyone is treated equally, fairly. Treat every team members equally, irrespective of their role, title, race, gender, cultural differences. Okay, and regarding task allocation, what do you do? Allocate tasks equally and responsibly, and make sure you have clarity on the roles and responsibilities of team members, okay, before you delegate any task to them. So clear division of work also makes them uh, derive better results. Okay, make sure the roles are clear, they have understood what is expected of them, they understand the responsibilities. It is simple, it is understandable, it becomes easier for them to now deliver the results. Okay, so that could be some issues. So it's not all, that's not all the answer, right? But there are like any, like it can be anything. Okay, and as a manager, what how it is also talks about how would you solve the current team issue. So if I were you, I would just speak to the person, speak to my team, organize a meeting, have a face-to-face meeting, ongoing meeting with the team members, or you can have casual conversations. So you can also encourage like people like to encourage openness. You can discourage favoritism. You can just speak to your team member saying this is not good. Favoritism is not good. Everyone is equal, everyone is same. Okay, you should discourage personal attacks and offensive discussions. If there is a complaint about someone feeling discriminated, or someone being offensive, or someone being targeted on, speak to them, talk to them nicely, ask them questions. What's happening? Why is this happening? How can I help you? So all that sort of things, you can just come up with any solution. Okay, there's no one right answer. Now describe the feedback mechanism that you would adopt. What's the feedback mechanism? See, regarding the team issues, I want you to go and read about team. See, there is no right answer for this one. You won't find it in your learner guide. Okay, it's not one. There's no one proper answer for that. So you have to talk about. You have to read about uh, team teamwork. You have to read about teamwork. You can read on conflicts. You can read topics on managing conflicts. You can read topics on discrimination on the workplace. How do you talk about discrimination? Like, there are policies and guidelines, or there are anti-discriminatory laws, there are policies and guidelines, that protects employees from discrimination and bullying. So maybe you might require to provide them training on discrimination. Maybe you have to have organized a meeting or a training program, talk about these anti-discriminatory things, like all harassment things and all that sort of answers. There's no one right answer. So I just want you to read like thoroughly all the topics about teamwork, conflict management, discrimination, task allocation, and just come up with 2 or 3 points. Okay, and feedback mechanism. So there is also no concrete answer on your as learner guide on feedback mechanism, but you can find it in Google. There's a lot of information. See, I've found something for you. um, for now, there are plenty. So you don't have to stick to this article. There is an article on what is the role of feedback mechanism in an organization, right? What's a feedback mechanism? It can be two ways. It can be, you a manager, you are providing feedback to your staff members, right, to your fellow like employees. Or it could be the other way around, employees are providing feedback to you. Okay, so what is an employee feedback mechanism? So an employee feedback mechanism is a system that allows employees to give feedback to their managers or higher manager. The feedback could be on any topic. Okay, how they are, whether they have issues in their team, whether it's regarding a task, whether it's regarding the behavior of another employee, whether it's regarding your manager's own behavior. It could be anything. Okay, Additionally, an employee feedback mechanism allows managers to give feedback to team members, which helps them to improve their performance. Okay, so it can be either thing, it can be a feedback from employee to the manager, or manager giving feedback to the employee, right? You're talking about the performance, how well they are doing. If they're doing well, then say, wow, great work, good job, you've done a great work. So something like that, that's also just a pat on their back is also a feedback. Maybe a written, like some nice comments, maybe feedback could be, have done a great job, maybe give them a voucher or gift card, anything. A feedback can be positive or negative also. If someone just in the other case we read about, someone's being discriminated, so you see someone bullying your other staff member, then you have to stop that behavior, stop that act. So what do? You intervene, go and speak to the person. I saw you talking bad about your other employees. This is no good, this is not acceptable. So that kind of feedback, it doesn't have to be positive, it can be negative feedback as well. Okay, so I want you to read about understanding importance of employee feedback. What's feedback? Why is it important? Types of employee feedback mechanism. So there are different ways of providing feedback. Surveys, right? Sometimes, like say for example, insurance companies, right? Sometimes you receive that in your messages. Sometimes they send you email, asking about how did you find the service in our company. You go to a bank and you have been served by one of the staff members there, and later on they ask you to rate their service, whether they are one like not good or five very good, right? Whether they're good or whether the service was excellent or whether they needed improvement, anything. That's like a survey. Another one is performance reviews. The feedbacks can be discussed on one-on-one meeting, or also group discussions, or exit interviews, 360-degree evaluation. See, there are different ways of giving feedback, okay, or receiving feedback. So I want you to receive that. You can copy that link, see www.mentoringcomplete.com, or you can just Google it. Go to Google search and type on feedback mechanism in an organization, a role of feedback mechanism in an organization. Read through it, okay, and then answer your question, right? So what describe the feedback mechanism that you would adopt. So you can adopt one or two. You can say either I'll have a one-on-one meeting, or you can say I'll have performance review, or you can say I'll have a survey, or anything. Okay, there's no one right answer. So similarly, I want you to answer the all other questions, okay, while you're preparing a report. And the second task, once your report is complete, then you have to present, okay, prepare a presentation for your upcoming managers meeting. Remember, so you are a manager now, you are presenting in front of other people, in front of your boss, and you are talking about the situation, about that case there. So what was the problem, what was the issue, so how did you solve the problem? The point one, how would you solve the problem? So point one, so that was the problem, this is how I decided to solve the problem, this is the feedback mechanism I'm going to use, and this is how I'm going to encourage my team members. This is how I'm going to encourage open and supportive communication. This is how I'm going to discuss the performance outcome with my employees, something like that. Okay, prepare slides for each topic, one slide each. All right, so there will be two folders for you to download here. One is your report, the other one is your presentation. Okay, two folders. So that's assessment task 2. So once that is complete, I want you to save it, okay, so that you don't lose your work. Now, the next is your assessment task 2. Oh, no, sorry, 3. Now let's see what's in your assessment task 3. Open the file. Okay, so this one is also, again, another role play and presentation. With this one, if you scroll down, all right, so there is a case scenario which you will not find here. right? So I want you to go back to your resources, go back. All right, here. See, I have uploaded a separate file for you. Assessment task 3, case scenario for role play and presentation. Because that assessment was missing the case scenario. Okay, so I had to upload it separately. So if you click on that, that's the file. Right. So that's the case scenario. So it's the same case of about a Perth Cafe and Convention Center. You cater for a variety of special needs, da. So up to here, you've already read the case. That was in assessment task 2, right? Now you needed further more detail. So this one has got your organization's mission statement. What's the mission statement? Okay. It also has a strategic goal. So its strategic goal is to receive a 5-star customer service ratings, identify and successfully implement innovation ideas and bring benefits to the business and our stakeholders. It's another strategic goal could be is to continue to be recognized as a leader in sustainable prices and champion new sustainability initiatives and technology. Okay, so that's their strategic goal, and that's their managers code of conduct. What is expected of the managers? Okay, is to practice professional grooming standards. Managers need to look nice and professional, be respectful to all the team members, customers and other stakeholders, act with integrity in all their dealings with all their members, customer, suppliers, be honest and transparent, be fair and consistent with customers, team members. See, that's what's expected of their managers, right? So act ethically in all tasks undertaken, right? So empathy to the customers, team members, be flexible, keep all confidential information private, right? So and follow workplace practices and procedures. That's the code for managers, code of conduct for managers. This is only a little information. This is only a small case scenario. You can find more, like you can read more on Perth Cafe and Convention Center. You can go into their website and get more details, okay, if you want. So that's your case. So now, so you refer to that case scenario, and now here you are role playing. Okay, arrange a role play activity where one student will be playing the role of a supervisor and the other two students being the staff members, right? So you are a supervisor, one person becomes supervisor, two people, the staff members, because you are not in classroom to practice the role play. So what I want you to do is just prepare a report, okay? So now in the report, use the following case scenario, brainstorm your ideas, read on the topics. Now make sure and also make a presentation, and while keeping in mind the following key points, okay? So keep in mind that case scenario. I want you to prepare a report on these topics, okay? Discuss basic operations and key business activity of the organization. What does that organization do? What's their basic activity? What's their business activity? It's a convention center, isn't it? So it's a convention center, right? So it caters to a variety of special events such as birthdays. It's a convention center. Organize birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, fundraising events, and corporate functions. And they also have a cafe that provides breakfast, lunch, and delicious snacks, right? And they have all varieties of menus, right? They cater to different dietary requirements. So that's it, right? They are on in the evening, they have evening functions and conventions booking for evenings. Okay, so that's what they do, provide service, catering service. Okay, all right. Now identify two strategic goals and two operational goals for each strategic goal. So what are the strategic goals? See, you go back to the case scenario. So it has the mission statement, strategic goals. So pick two, okay? Any two strategic goals and operational goals. So what are the operational goals? So we don't have all the information in the case scenario. I want you to go and make up, like, operational goals. What are the operational goals of any organizations? Make up few, just come up with two operational goals and then put it in your answer, okay? So also, okay, so if you go to topic 3, develop two performance standards and corresponding key performance indicators, KPIs, for use of new employee. So now you have to give them like the target, okay, KPIs to your new employees. What KPIs, what kind of KPIs in terms of whether in terms of, is it a number, in terms of figure, in terms of amount, in terms of serving how many customers, in terms of making how many pizzas, in terms of organizing how many events. What kind of KPIs do you want to give your new employees? Okay, so you have to come up with your own ideas. Okay, so that's how you answer other questions. Okay, so that's assessment task 3. And then once you have prepared a report answering all the key points, I want you to put it in a presentation, in slides, okay, PPT. All right, then you go, okay, so this is the company, give a little background on the company, Perth Cafe and Convention Center. This is the mission statement, this is their vision, and this many staff, that's what they do, that's the business activity, that's what they do. They open from this time to that time. That main business activities are no birthday parties, conventions, meetings, all that stuff. And the strategic goals are that, operational goals are and that's the KPIs for the new staff. And as being a supervisor, how would you identify the poor performance? So that is how I would identify poor performance, right? That is how I manage the grievances, how I manage conflict. Okay, so for every topic, 1 or 2 slides. All good? That's it. So that's task 3. That's complete. And task 4 is your written exam, I think. Assessment task 4 is your written exam. So it won't be available to you until week 9. So there are some questions that you have to answer. It's a closed book. So you have to read through all your lecture slides and your learning resources, understand the topics, okay, and then be prepared for the final exams. Okay, so that's it for today. All the best. And all right, so and how do you submit your assessment? So once you have completed it, you go to assessment task 1, click there. Yeah, go in the bottom, see where you see view all assessment, all submission, there should be a submission button for you. Okay, so go to submission button, then it will guide you as to how you can submit it. You can either drag the file, locate the file in your computer, and save it and submit. Okay, so that's how you submit your assignment. Okay, good luck, guys. Good luck in completing all your assessment. Any questions you have, you can come to the college. I'm available Monday and Tuesdays 9 to 5, or you can email me if you have any issues with the assessment. Okay, so all good for now. Thank you so much.